Scott Bird, who's Head of Marketing Communications here at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre, is also custodian of the Spotlight magazine, which is here in front of us celebrating 130 years of this fantastic theatre. Scott, how are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you, Jason. How are you?
I'm very well and always excited to see what's going on at the Grand, and the Spotlight is the way to do it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is our new issue. It's pretty much hot off the press, and as you'll see, if you're watching the video version of this, it's got some nice, some gold foiling on the front this time around.
Looking fantastic, celebrating 130 years of the theatre. Seems like 5 minutes ago we were celebrating 125 years of the theatre, and the cakes that night were amazing.
Yes, they were. I remember those particularly. Hopefully we'll have some more in a couple of weeks for the 130th. But yeah, this is a great way to kick off the 130th, I think, by sort of shouting about all of the lovely productions that we've got coming up over the next year. Yeah,
and I think the big one to talk about first of all is obviously Panto, because that's during the Panto run that we will see the big anniversary. But also, it's going to be a giant of a Panto due to the giant in it. And
yes.
This is an amazing production of Beauty and the Beast that we've got on the way.
Yeah, it really is. Opening in November this year, which seems crazy, because usually we're sort of talking about December before the Panto opens. But 30th of November is Beauty and the Beast, which is the first time we've ever done this title, and that's partly because of the anniversary. We wanted to do something new, something celebratory, and sort of and something a bit different casting wise, but yeah, which is why we've got a gladiator.
A gladiator, but also West End stars, and West End stars who've also toured, some of whom have been to the theatre already, so know the Grand very well, but all of whom are superbly talented. It is an amazing lineup.
Yeah, it really is. Unfortunately, as we printed the brochure, the full lineup weren't quite ready in photographs, and they don't feature in here, but we do have Olivia Mitchell, who was in Waitress here in 2022, I think, and Shanae Richard Noel, who originated the role of Catherine of Aragon in Six, so as well as Tom Lowe from Unfortunate, which we spoke about earlier in the year. So there's a whole host of West End stars that are bringing the vocals.
It's going to be absolutely amazing, and the fact that the theatre has so much input to this as well. It's put together with big production, but people who know the theatre.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the history of Panto at the Grand was always that it was produced locally or in-house, and that's where we've sort of gone back to. And if Snow White was anything to go by last year, it proves that I think that was the right step to take. The reviews have been better than ever, the sales have been better than ever.
Well, I spoke to several people, and I said this to Tam and Ian when I saw them, but there were people who bought tickets last year knowing Tam and Ian were involved, because they know they're going to get a quality script, they know it's going to be funny, and they've now got two of the country's best theatre performers in Panto as part of the cast.
Yeah, and I think that's something nice about Panto. I think, the traditions of Panto are various, but I think one of the traditions is that you have those people that you know and love that do it every year. And I think if a theatre has got a regular dame or a regular comic, unfortunately for us, we've got both. It's nice, it's that familiarity that you get every year, because Panto, you want to know what you're going to get, and you do know what you're going to get. But it's always nice to sort of have that familiarity, but something new as well.
And they bring that. We saw that last year with a take on Snow White. I don't think we've seen the likes of before, certainly not to the level or the talent that was on that stage. And again, that's what we get this year too, so that's going to be an absolute treat. But people will be looking at buying Christmas gifts. Tickets are one of those things that people will be picking up. So what have we got as we head through Spotlight?
Yeah, so as we turn the pages from Panto, there's a whole host of shows coming up in January, some one-night shows, some comedians, some music acts, even an adult panto, which I think is the first time that we've had an adult pantomime.
So that'll be something a little bit fruity and a lot of fun.
Yes, which is Sleeping with Beauty, and that's on the 11th of January. But then we're straight into musicals again, if that's your kind of thing, with Blood Brothers, which returns again, but is always so well loved.
Yeah, it's never again. It's just one more time at least. Please give me another outing of Blood Brothers, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. And that's from the 21st to 25th of January. But we're looking forward to having that back, because it's been about 2 years, I think.
It's been a little while, hasn't it? So. Do we know casting on that? I don't think we do it at the minute.
We do, yes, but it's Nikki Evans gave her triumphant finale last year, so Nikki's no longer in it. But it's a really good, solid cast that that have been in the show before. I don't think the cast is... No, it's not listed in the brochure, but if you go to the website... they're all
Check
on
it
there.
out on there.
Yeah.
So what have you got over the page as we head towards the end of January into February?
Well, we're really excited about Carlos Acosta's Nutcracker. So Carlos Acosta, of course, famous for his dance company, well, as a dancer in his own right, but Acosta dancer, and is now, of course, heading things up at Birmingham Royal Ballet. But this is his company, Carlos Acosta's company, and they're performing Nutcracker in Havana. So it's sort of a, people associate the Nutcracker with Christmas, and of course this is still sort of in the festive. Just in the festive period of 13th to 14th of January.
Yeah.
But this is in Havana, so it's got like a sort of fresh Latin take on the story of Nutcracker. So it's kind of what you expect, and also nothing what you expect. So this is really exciting. It's selling really well. There are still tickets available, but there's a nice interview in the brochure with Carlos as well about what you can sort of expect.
Another one to check out. And this is the reason you get Spotlight, because there's loads of great interviews to read in there, all put together with love of theatre, and a lot of them written by yourself.
Yeah, not this one, but quite a few of them are. Yeah, I think this one was sent in by Carlos, but it's really exciting, that is, and I think our dance programme in particular has got particularly strong in the last few years.
So this developed, isn't it? And it was never so much lacking. Is it just that there wasn't the shows touring in that way? And obviously the Grand is one of the most amazing regional theatres, so it's a natural home for dance to come to.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're really passionate about showing a variety of dance, not just ballet. You can sort of see the classic ballets again and again, and the theatres, but we want, and of course we love having those, but we want to sort of offer a lot more contemporary dance, or dance from around the world, and this sort of hits quite a lot of those notes.
Well, yeah, two of those in one go, magically,
Yes,
which is
yes.
good.
Absolutely. But as we flick the page, more one-night shows, including a tribute to Frankie Valli, Chris McCausland, who of course is doing really well on Strictly at the moment.
Amazingly so. Again, I've spoken to him, and because the tour sort of ended up being a bit disjointed last year, didn't it?
Yes, of course. We did get a call to say, the date that we were looking at for Chris will need to move into the new year because he'd got something going on in the autumn, which of course now we know is Strictly. He's here on the 30th of January with his comedy tour, which is selling again really well. So final tickets remaining for that before Queens are back. With a new show, Drag Me to the Disco, which I think they've just performed in Las Vegas and around the world. And
well, because you go Las Vegas, Wolverhampton, that's the way it
works.
works.
Of course. But the thing that's different about the drag queens in the Queens shows, of course, is all the vocals are live. So a lot of drag queens will fabulously lip sync to our favourite songs, but all of these queens' vocals are live, and all of them are
absolutely spot on.
the money.
Yeah. Well, I think it's two different types of show, both of which are totally valid and totally brilliant fun. So we know where we are with this one, and we know where we are with Rendezvous.
Of course.
The ultimate night of soul, Motown and disco. It says Project 21 is all you need to know. Basically, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if anything, like if last year was anything to go by, we're in for a really good night.
Carl McGregor won't leave the house unless he's going to entertain, and he will be here entertaining, won't he?
Yes, he will, and Sophie's back, and Dayton's back, and it's really exciting to see what they've got in store. There's a whole load of new songs, some of the favourites from last time as well, but they've got a whole new playlist that they're currently working on. So tickets are flying out for that as well. Again, selling quicker than last year's was. So if you do want to come and see that, now's the time to book that one.
Absolutely, get in there quick. You will need to get in there fast for that one. Okie dokie. What have you got as a little treat next?
Well, as we turn the page, Hairspray,
which is another. It's not an again. It's another once more, please, at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone. I defy anyone to not come out of Hairspray and feel on top of the world. So we're really looking forward to having that back. It's always starred Brenda Edwards for the last couple of years, but now Brenda is. She's sort of retired from the role, but is actually the director of this tour. So it's a fresher take on what's been before. And Brenda has taken her sort of love, passion, and knowledge of the show and inspired a whole new generation to come forward and perform this production. So we're looking forward to seeing what Brenda's done with it. So.
Oh, that's going to be good. What date's that?
That is from the 3rd to the 8th of February, so it's on for a week at the start of February.
And then some amazing tribute nights with the Eagles, Tom Jones, Elton John and Lionel Richie, all covered off rather nicely as we head through February. And there's got to be at least one of those nights which is going to be your Valentine evening out, hasn't it? There's going to be music for everybody.
Yes, well, Valentine's Day itself is Sex Bomb Benidorm Tom.
I think that says it all.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
What more could you want? Or if you prefer, Rocket Man on the 15th, which is the Elton John.
You can surprise them with the tickets on the 14th, take them along on the 15th.
Yeah, absolutely. And then some more tributes to Dolly Parton, to ABBA, and there's a comedy of The Importance of Being Earnest coming up in February too, so that's very exciting. As well as Handbagged.
Now, an interesting, the Queen and Margaret Thatcher
Yes.
obviously knew each other. Who we don't really know what their relationship was like, but
No,
this is an interesting imagining of it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and this is something that comes from the Theatre Nation partnership. So if you came to see Sucker Punch last year, you'll know that was a production that was produced by I think 12 regional theatres in conjunction with the National Theatre. So you know that it's a quality drama, it's a quality play. Sucker Punch was indeed that, a drama, quite gritty drama, but this is more a satirical comedy of the Queen and Margaret Thatcher. And of course, Ronald Reagan features in it as well as Dennis Thatcher, and an ensemble of familiar faces, it says here.
But these, obviously, you saw the Queen, but you never saw Thatcher in power in your lifetime. And a lot of people will have to be the right age to get some of the history around this.
Yes.
And Reagan was a character. Dennis was very much a man in his own right, and I doubt had been handbagged too many times. But the way history remembers Thatcher is an interesting one. So this will be good to see.
Yes, and it spans 11 years of weekly behind closed doors meetings. So yeah,
that's one to take a look at. Okay, what have you got next for me?
So we've got our social pages next, which is just all the fun that we've been getting up to over the year. And then we've got some articles here about our access and outreach department. So, as you spin through the brochure, you'll find out what else we're up to outside of the theatrical offering and the stage and our work that we do in the community. But we're sort of into an Inspector Calls here, which is always another really popular show.
Now, this is traditional theatre, I think, isn't it?
Is.
That's the best way of putting it. And it's one which is going to, again, talk to people. National Theatre's landmark production is what it tells at the top of the page, which, again, it just is going to exude quality. Yeah,
of course. I mean, this production, I think I've only seen it once, but I remember it so vividly, as if I've seen it about 10 times. It's something that I did at school, and I know it's still on the curriculum, so a lot of people sort of get in there quick to see this. Because it sort of helps with the studies and stuff, but even if you're not familiar with it, it's one that keeps you guessing till the end.
And we tickets from just £13 and it running through in the early part of March?
Yeah, 4th to the 8th of March, that one. So again, that's going to be a great drama, but as we turn the page again, we're really excited.
Another staple of theatre, one that people talk about, a West End sensation and a global phenomenon.
Yeah, and this is the first ever time that the National Theatre's Warhorse has played the Grand Theatre. It's toured twice before, I think, but never made it to Wolverhampton. But I think mainly, because of the work that we're doing with the National Theatre, we're really blessed to be able to work so closely with them and welcome this for 2 weeks, which is, of course, Warhorse and some of the most stunning puppetry you'll ever see on stage.
And that is already selling well, isn't it?
Yes,
I know a lot of people who've already bought tickets for that.
Yes, I feel like I'm sort of doing everything's selling really well, so make sure you get, but actually it is like, the season is so strong this time that people have already sort of snapped up their tickets, and Warhorse is one of those that is very close to selling out, so you don't want to miss that.
Yeah, so that's grandtheatre.co.uk. Get your tickets. 01902 429212 is where you want to be for that, and that is absolutely essential. And again, that's another one that people are going to be getting as Christmas presents, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. And there's a lovely interview with Michael Morpurgo about how the show came to be from his novel. So yeah.
So that's one to look out for. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, brought to life by one of our amateur groups, West Bromwich Operatic, doing their thing here.
Yes, yeah. They're always after the really good titles, West Brom, and they always pull it out of the bag with something that's maybe never been seen here before. And certainly Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has never played the Grand. So,
but an exceptionally approachable show, I think, and that's going to be nice. Obviously, musical too, so you're going to have some foot tapping stuff to listen to, and probably put in the mood for a bar of Cadbury's.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that what West Brom are very good at doing is sort of doing very different shows year on year. So one year you'll get something a little bit more like this year's, of course they did Love Never Dies, and then next year Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So they're always very good at sort of alternating their titles. But we've got all that to look forward to before we get into Dear Evan Hansen, which is the first UK tour of the West End Broadway hit. So,
but again, another name of a show that people know, and it's one that people have been travelling sometimes internationally to go and see.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I remember when I went to New York, I was very, very tempted to see this show, but it was opening in the West End a couple of months later, so I resisted. But I was there within the opening weeks, and of course, the music by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul is just, you know, incredible music. Without the rest of the show, the music stands alone as a strong soundtrack, really.
Am I going to love this show?
I think so, Jay.
That's good. Okay, I'll look forward to that one.
Yeah.
What do we have after that?
Next?
Because again, there's more names and a few interesting ones. Explain this to me.
Yeah, so Pig Heart Boy is a novel by Mallory Blackman, which who of course you'll have heard, Noughts and Crosses. This is a children's theatre partnership play. So if you came earlier this year to see The Boy at the Back of the Class,
which was excellent,
this is going to be very similar. It's taking a children's novel and turning it into a quality play, which you can come and see. But this is all about Cameron, who's 13 and wants to be normal, have friends and go to school and dive to the bottom of his local swimming pool, but desperately needs a heart transplant. And time is running out. And when he's finally offered a new heart, he must choose how far he'll go to get his life back. Pig Heart Boy, the title.
It gives you a few clues.
A little indication of where the story might be going. But yeah, this is going to be a really quality drama for younger audiences too. Anyone come and enjoy it and say, you know, we had a great time at Boy at the Back of the Class.
And I think
really accessible for younger audiences.
Yeah, and I think that's what people have to remember though. If it's deemed to be a kids' show, it just means it's going to be a show where you've got to write it good enough for the kids, because kids will pick fault with things.
Yes, they will.
And so you know, there's no suspension of disbelief.
No,
it will be realistic, and it will be good to get into.
And I mean the play adapted by Winston Pinnock as well, so you know it's going to be a quality translation from page to stage. So looking forward to that.
And quality hits us next with the 6th of April. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, with it's a Sunday.
Sunday night.
Sunday the 6th of April, 5 p.m. That's a nice time.
That's a good
Sunday,
time.
with Anton Dubek. Magic at the Musicals. Anton Dubek at the Musicals. Which is going to be the perfect mix of Strictly Come Dancing and all of your favourite musicals before the dinosaurs take over, which is the National History Museum.
That's going to be good as well.
Out on the road with the dinosaur shows. You're going to learn something, and you're going to see some amazing dinosaurs live on stage as well.
That's all good. And I could say that the Pig Heart Boy sandwiched in between those two.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Before some interesting magic brought to the stage.
Yeah, and magic, illusion, or whatever you want to call it. It's sort of mind-blowing things from Darren Brown. So we're really looking forward to having Darren Brown. It's usually about every 2 years Darren Brown comes back with a brand new show, and quite how he does it, nobody knows. But
that's the part of the magic. We don't want to know how he does it. We just want to be in awe of what's going on.
So I can't really tell you what's in store there.
No, we just know when it is. When is it?
That is the 15th to the 19th of April.
So that's one, again, for your diary for 2025. Make sure you're checking out there. And Giovanni.
Yeah, Giovanni is back. Back again with a brand new tour. So more Strictly Fabulousness, if that's your thing. There's a lot for the Strictly fans this year. Nikita is also coming up for the kids. Bing's birthday. Comedy from Russell Kane. Michael Jackson tribute there, so there's a lot to keep you going through April. And
this all fits nicely around some of the longer shows and having some one night opportunities too. But it's obviously where we're going next though is something of a high culture, isn't it? There.
Yeah. So Ellen Kent Productions, which are always known for being lavish and really well-populated stage of opera chorus. But yeah, La Traviata, Le Bohème and Madame Butterfly from the 6th to the 8th of May.
Yeah, one a night. Transforming the theatre each night. You need to book those 3 nights in your diary, don't you?
Yes, you do, yeah. Another article there about our visit to Edinburgh Fringe.
And that went well. That went so well,
really
didn't it?
well, yeah. It was such a a really fun challenge that was. For
Well,
us,
with electricity going off and everything else as well.
Going off on opening night. Yeah, well, we never staged anything like we had up in Edinburgh this year, so that was really nice and quite the challenge, as I say, to work on a show in Wolverhampton that was actually being performed in Edinburgh. But yeah, we got some really good reviews and really good feedback, and hopefully there'll be future life yet beyond Edinburgh.
But it's just the nature of the theatre, though, isn't it? Being a production house as well, I think is important to the Grand. It sort of speaks of the history, and it looks to the future, and bringing new productions and new things to these audiences we have here. It really does make a difference.
Yeah, it does. It really does. As does talking of making a difference within the community is our Speak Up project, which I know we've talked about before. And it's a partnership between ourselves and the National Theatre, where we go into schools and we speak to students across a 3-year project about what is important to them and speak up on things that are important. And of course, I think in the climate that we're in, there's a lot of opinions that maybe don't get heard by some of our younger.
But it's having a connection point as well, and linking into things. And you might walk past the theatre every day when you go into town, school, college, but it's then moving that into something which is meaningful for you. And it's not just this building that you see, it's something which you interact with. And that again, it's having that link that makes a difference. And obviously the Grand recognises it as a national theatre.
Yeah, and it's just using our creative offering to help enrich the lives of students across Wolverhampton. So read up on that. That's really interesting.
And this is again is another reason you pick up your copy of Spotlight.
Yes, yeah, we're almost there now. But as we go through, there's a lot more one-nighters. As I mentioned, Nikita Kuzmin from Strictly Come Dancing is bringing his tour. It's his first ever tour, a Midnight Dancer, to Wolverhampton. That is on the 11th of May. An evening of burlesque. Stuart Lee comedy, then we've got Tom Fletcher's Monster in your show, which is great for the kids, but more comedy from Rob Beckett there as we go through May. That's all in May. As we look at our Stages Summer School, that's back again this year.
And again, when's that taking bookings? Because you do need to get in there quick for that one as well.
Yes, you do need to get into that. At the minute, I don't think bookings are open yet, but register of interest.
So pre-register for that one, yeah.
Outreach@grandtheatre.co.uk is the email to register your interest in that. For the summer holidays, again, that sold out very quickly last year.
And exceptionally good value for what you're getting as well.
Yes, yeah, of course. So, and plus you get a performance at the end of it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely go there for that. But then back to our May offering, Miss Americana, a tribute to Taylor Swift, promises the Eras Tour experience.
You're going to be there for that.
Right here in Wolverhampton.
You're definitely going to be there for that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie, Jason, but I like the music. I certainly didn't go to the tour. I wasn't quick enough to get tickets for that, but I know a lot of people that work here did. So yeah, we're looking forward to hearing the sounds of Taylor Swift blast through the speakers on the 15th of May before Harry Hill and Dara O'Brien.
Come and do their thing.
Come and do their thing.
Not together, they're separate nights.
Yes, the 16th of May for Harry Hill and 17th of May for Dara O'Brien. Before Clive and Danny are back with The Craziest Showman. So that is if you're familiar with Danny.
Certainly hilarious.
Certainly hilarious, yeah. And from Danny and Mick on CBBC, they're back with Dad Clive causing all sorts of chaos on the 1st of June.
And the Sensational 60s experience, it tends to be 14 months between visits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they were, April, May last year?
Yeah,
so this
no,
year,
June.
we've got a June visit.
Yes, we've got a June visit, and the lineup is there. It's announced. The Fortunes, Mike Diabo, Vanity Fair, Josie Beakey, Mick and Titch. So absolutely come along for that.
Worth a little look.
Yeah, Dinosaur That Pooped is pooping along on the 8th of June.
Okay, I think that says enough. It is a rock show.
Yeah, that's again Tom Fletcher. Sort of all the, there was a time where all of the sort of David Walliams books were making their way to stage.
Tom's doing his thing now.
Strong, and it's Tom Fletcher's turn now, and it's the second offering from Tom Fletcher this year. I think the Creekers has just started on tour somewhere else as well, so hopefully that will be heading in that way. But for now, it's the Dinosaur That Pooped. Before Ballet BC, British Columbia, comes along in 6th and 7th of June, which is our dance consortium offering for this year.
Dance consortium, amazing work from them. An absolute treat last year with Brazil taking the 4. This time round, where are we coming from
British Columbia.
So where's that on the map?
Yes, so Vancouver, the virtuoso
It sounded Canadian to me, but I wasn't prepared to commit.
Yes.
You'll be down Tim Hortons again with that lot, won't
Yes,
you?
we will. Yeah, So and there's an opening night Q&A with the company, which last time I hosted. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get the privilege of hosting that again this year, or maybe it'll be James who does great Q&As throughout the year. This is again. I think it's the first time. Oh no, they're highly anticipated return. So it's the first time in Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
But they return to UK soil. But
that's going to be good too.
To see what them. That would be a triple bill as well. It's a double bill. Sorry, that one. It's a double bill. So before rumours of Fleetwood Mac and Simon and Garfunkel make their way back.
And then some startling stuff from Chicago. Now we're into June. That's the 23rd through to the 28th, is it?
Yes, 23rd to the 28th for Chicago, with casting to be announced. We don't know who's going to be taking on the roles yet, but even so, Chicago is just one of those
always
classic,
an amazing tour.
Classic shows, and they've changed the artwork for this tour. It used to be black with a white logo, now it's white with a red, which I think looks really nice.
Yep.
There'll
be T-shirts.
Yes, there will.
And they'll be in your wardrobe, won't they?
Maybe some new merchandise for Chicago. Before another article about some of our audience development work that we've been doing this year with our fabulous ambassadors.
And again, it's another great way that the Grand's reaching out, and you're looking at the life and soul of the theatre is the people of our city. So
yeah, of course it is.
It's great when we reflect that, which is always an absolute treat. And I think the Grand does that so much better than other theatres I've been to in the Midlands already.
I'm maybe biased, but I think so.
Yeah, that's all good. Hang on, you're scaring us. Ghost
Yes,
stories.
there's one show that I won't be getting a ticket to.
Come on, you'll be enjoying that one as well.
I
Edge of
don't
your
know.
seat stuff.
I don't know. Certainly if I won't be there, a lot of people will be. This apparently promises to be, I think it is the scariest, somewhere it says it's the scariest ghost show that's ever come out of the West End.
Okay.
So, ghost stories from the 1st to the 5th of July. A world of thrilling twists and epic turns where ultimate love letter to horror is imagined live on stage. A full sensory and electrifying encounter. It's one of London's best reviewed plays of all time, and it's edge of your seat theatrical experience like no other.
Not for the faint-hearted, but certainly worth getting your hands on.
No, but if that's not your thing, Calamity Jane might be with Carrie Hope Fletcher from the 9th to 13th of September. Yeah, it's been a while since Carrie was last here. She was Wednesday Addams.
Addams Family, wasn't it?
In 2017.
That was that far back?
Yeah.
Because we thought we might see if a waitress didn't we?
Yes, I think that was a rumour, but she didn't do the tour of Waitress.
No.
She's been in the West End since, and she's since gone off to start a family of her own, but she's back on tour next year with Calamity Jane, so she's cracking her way to Wolverhampton. And
you just can't help but love her, and the way she interacts with audiences through the socials at the same time as doing a great theatre work. It is just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So well worth coming to see it for Carrie, let alone for the show as well.
Yes, absolutely. And then there are pages of dementia-friendly theatre and accessible performances. So, all of our BSL, audio-described, captioned, relaxed performances, chilled performances, dementia-friendly offerings are all listed there in one handy place. So if you require those services, you can find those. Before we sort of carry on the year with the James Bond concert spectacular, so all of those great sort of Bond themes are in concert with accompanied by Caroline Bliss. Before Jack D offers some more comedy, and then for the first time in Wolverhampton, the acclaimed West End production of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
And that takes us through to October into November. I mean,
yes, we're almost a year ahead.
And there will be a few things sneaking in there in between all of this, won't there, as well?
Yes, there will, because of course the programme continues to develop as we go through the year. So there'll be things that aren't in this brochure that we've already put on sale, like Elf the musical has just been announced for next year. As well as some other things in the pipeline.
I can see you coming in fancy dress to that one.
Yeah, the little jingly hat.
That'd suit you. I think that'd look absolutely fantastic.
But there's some more things which we're about to announce, which is very exciting. Can't say just yet, but they will definitely be in the next brochure in the spring. But for now, this one is packed full.
We'll talk about that in the spring.
Yeah.
Spotlight, of course, is your podcast as well, which you can find on YouTube, and there'll be little treaty links, all of that from Facebook. So you'll be there with Tonya interviewing more people as we head through towards Christmas and beyond.
There's some more interviews coming along. So we've got a Panto one with Giant coming up.
So that's worth checking out. But Scott, thank you for playing host down here. Thank you to the Grand for doing everything it does. And here's to the next 130 years.
Yes, we're looking forward to celebrating in December, and we know. I think we'll be, well, maybe not us, but the theatre will certainly be here. In
Yeah,
630
they may
years,
have found a way of doing that by
I
then.
don't know. Maybe we will be there.
You never know.
Jason,
If it's possible, you're not going to move us from these seats. But there you go. grandtheatre.co.uk to find out all the details on all the shows. Get your copy of Spotlight from the theatre itself. And if you want to book, 01902 429212 is the box office number. Scott, as ever, thanks again. Have a brilliant time. And do we have to say break a leg for the fact that you're going to be doing podcasting? Is that how it works?
Oh, we can do.
Break a leg and have a good time.
Break a mic.
Yes, don't do that. You'll be in trouble.
And to you, Jason.